So the definitions of beat is like this. The intensity changes due to the superposition of waves, or the periodic change in the intensity due to the superpositioning of two sound waves which has slight difference in the frequencies moving along the same direction is called beats. The periodic change in intensity of sound waves of slight difference in frequencies moving along the same direction. It's called beats, or called beats. So in case of beats, we can hear the change in the frequency of the sound waves and change in their intensity also. So we can distinguish the difference in their frequencies and intensities clearly. This is the actually what is happening in case of beat formation. If suppose it is like that, there are two waves. This is one wave. And there is another wave, same direction. There is a small change in the frequency between these two waves. Both are moving in the same direction. When these two waves superposition on each other, then what will be the change in the intensity and how these beats will form, we will see graphically. So if this is the first wave of frequency some 56 Hz, and this is the second wave of frequency 48 Hz, this is 56 Hz, this is 48 Hz. These two waves are traveling in the same direction, but if they interfere or superpositioned on each other, then the resultant diagram, sometimes it may be with the higher amplitude, sometimes it may be with the lower amplitude. So if you see this point and this point, these 2 points are said to be beat positions. So these beat positions explains about the maximum intensity of the sound or minimum intensity of the sound when these two waves are superpositioned on each other. Here the frequency difference is f1 minus f2, that is nothing but beat frequency. So the beat frequency is equal to some 56 minus 48 Hz, nothing but 8 Hz. So how to visualize this one with a very neat interference of the peaks like this. So we should check the propagation order of these two waves, and then we can find out the ability of superposition of the waves along the given path. So with respect to these graphs, we can find out the beat frequency as well as the time required to create the beat frequency and the uses of the beats also. This graph shows the one of the incident wave. The second graph shows the another incident wave. They both are traveling in the same direction, and they both used to superimpose on each other or superposition on each other by varying the intensities. So here this is one point of variation in the intensity. Here also one point of superimposition. So if you see the points, this one, here there is a possibility for the change in the intensities. So one is constructive interference, second one is destructive interference. This leads to the formation of beats. So if you see this one, it creates like a wave formation like this. So it is some 48 hedges means it taking 48 cycles, 56 hedges means it taking 56 cycles. So when they both are superpositioned on each other, there is a possibility for the intermixing of these two waves and completing the one complete cycle in 1/t of the seconds. Now we will discuss about the equation part about this beats propagation. The next concept is beat frequency formula. Let us take two sources. One is source A, second one is source B. It has the frequency f1, it has the frequency f2. So it is doing f1 cycles in a time t, and this is executing the f2 cycles in time t. So the multiplication of frequency into time is 1 because both are reciprocals to each other. Therefore f2t minus f1t is equal to 1. So t of f2 minus f1 is equal to 1. Therefore f2 minus f1 is equal to 1/t. We can write R t is equal to 1/f1 minus f2. These two are the general formulae to find out the beat frequency of the given two sources. Now we will discuss the mathematical method to check the beat frequency formula. Now we are discussing the mathematical treatment of beats. Let us take two sources. Source A, it has displacement y1, another source it has displacement y2. So the displacement of source A is A sine 2 pi f1t, because it is A sine omega t, where we can write omega is equal to 2 pi f. Displacement of the second source y2 is equal to A sine 2 pi f2t. According to the vector analysis, the resultant displacement of the two waves which are interfering on each other or superpositioned on each other is equal to the vector sum of individual displacements. Therefore, resultant displacement capital Y is equal to y1 plus y2. Therefore capital Y is equal to y1 is A sine 2 pi f1t plus y2 is A sine 2 pi f2t. Therefore if I take A sine as common, 2 pi A as common, sine 2 pi f1t plus sine 2 pi f2t. The term which was in the bracket, it is similar to sine A plus sine B. So the mathematical expression for this trigonometrical part is 2 cos A minus B by 2 into sine A plus B by 2. Now we are substituting this 2 pi f1 and 2 pi f2 in places of A and B to get the result. So by using this formula, we can write A into sine 2 pi f1t plus sine 2 pi f2t is equal to A into 2 into cos A minus B, 2 pi f1t minus 2 pi f2t by 2 into sine 2 pi f1t plus 2 pi f2t by 2. Therefore, 2a cos 2 pi into f1 or 2 pi t into f1 minus f2 by 2 into t into sine 2 pi into f1 plus f2 by 2 into t, that is equal to y. So the resultant frequency is the average of it. Resultant frequency is equal to average of the individual frequencies. What about the displacement or amplitude? Amplitude is equal to 2a cos 2 pi into f1 minus f2 by 2 into t. So these are the beat frequency, average frequency of the beats, and this is the amplitude of the beat. Now we will see the graphs which are related to these equations. These are the two waves, one is A, another one is B, traveling along the same direction by a small variation in the frequencies. So they used to interfere on each other or superimpose on each other or superposition on each other. It will create the resultant displacement in a formation of beats. So the net displacement or resultant displacement is equal to, the form of wave is like this. So what we can understand from this graph is, see, the amplitude is keep on increasing. Suddenly there is a fall in the amplitude, and this fall and the rise is also not too much, very small rise in the amplitude. Again it is increased to the higher amplitudes and greater amplitudes, and again it is falling down and reaching to the small note. So these 2 points are known as interference points or superposition points. Or superposition points. If suppose one source is having some 340 hertz of frequency, another source having some 336 hertz of frequency, the beat frequency is f1 minus f2 or f2 minus 1, 4 hertz. Now we will discuss what are the uses of the beats in different sectors. There were number of applications of beats in different sectors. We will check the first use to find out the unknown frequency. There are 2 tuning forks were given. One is with some frequency, but the another one is like this. These are the 2 tuning forks. One has some 384 Hz, and here the reading of the frequency will be there on each tuning fork, but here it is coated with wax. Now we should find out the frequency of this unknown tuning fork or unknown frequency of the given tuning fork. So what we should do? We should check the number of vibrations made by each one and find out the difference between the frequencies, and automatically we will get it. So if frequency difference is increased or frequency is decreased, what is the meaning of increased or decreased? Let us suppose it is 384. If this is the unknown frequency is greater than 384, therefore the number of beats going to increase in the positive number. Less than, it is decreases. Let us suppose it is increased by 4, that means it is 388 Hz. Decreased by 4, it is 380 Hz. So by finding the changes in the frequency or changes in the number of vibrations made in each tuning fork, we can find out the frequency of the unknown. Second use is tuning the musical instruments. Suppose if you see the musical instruments which were connected as strings like violin, guitar, electrical guitar, these all, before going to perform a show, these all musicians comes to the stage and they used to check their intensity levels and frequency levels of each instrument. What is the reason is, if the strings are not fixed to their perfect length, there is a possibility for the change in the frequency. So this causes to the unmatched tunes with the surroundings or with the given items or given instruments in the troupe. So that's why they used to check the length, they used to check the frequency of each strings. Once the frequency is matched, it creates a beautiful musical note. So to tune the musical instruments, to fix the lengths, to tune in a beautiful frequency way, that's why these beats are also useful. Third example, to find the obstacles in water by the animals, especially dolphins. Dolphins can send the ultrasonic sound waves when they are traveling or moving in the water. If there is an obstacle in front of it or any sides of it, the sound waves will be reflected and there is a change in the frequency between the incident wave and reflected wave. If the change doesn't occur by the sensitivity of the dolphin can move forward. That is the sensitivity given to the dolphin. Once there is a change in the frequency between the incident wave by the dolphin and reflected wave by any obstacle or any ship top, ship bottom or any other material, then the dolphins will be alert, that they will be divert from the path to overcome that obstacle which really cuts their skin. So such like that, dolphins are using these beats to divert their paths and for their safe living under beneath of the water at all conditions. Such like this, we can use the beats in different sectors. This is the numerical which is based on the concepts of beats. Beats is nothing but the change in the apparent frequency between the two sources. The content in the numerical is calculate the speed of sound in a gas in which two waves of wavelength 1 meter and 1.01 meter produce 30 beats in 10 seconds. Therefore, wavelength lambda 1 for one wave is 1 meter. Lambda 2, wavelength of the second wave is 1.01 meter. It is producing 30 beats in 10 seconds. That means frequency is equal to number of beats by time. So the number of beats is 30, time taken is 10 seconds, it is 3 Hz. But beats is nothing but F1 minus F2. So first we should find out F1, then F2. So what is F1? Frequency is equal to velocity by lambda. For F1 we can write V by lambda 1. Therefore, velocity we don't know, V by lambda 1 is 1 meter. And F2 is V by lambda 2. V by lambda 2 is 1.01 meter. So therefore, beat frequency is equal to F1 minus F2. Therefore, this is equal to 3 Hz. But this 3 Hz is equal to, what is F1? V by 1 meter. F2, V by 1.01 meter. So 3, and we can write V into 1.01 minus V into 1 whole divided by 1.00 into 1.01. This is nothing but 1.01. So this is, if we take V as common, 1.01 minus 1 whole divided by 1.01 is equal to 3. Therefore, 3 is equal to V into 0.01 by 1.01 is equal to 3. So if I did the cross multiplication, 3 into 1.01 is equal to V into 0.01. So V is equal to 3 into 1.01 by 0.01 is equal to V. Therefore, V is equal to 3.03 by 0.01. This 0.01 we can written as 1 by 100. This 100 goes up. 3.03 into 100 by 1. Therefore, it is 303 meters per second. So if two waves has wavelength 1 meter and 1.01 meters, which are producing the 30 beats in 10 seconds of time, they both should move with the velocity of 303 meters per second. The next concept is Doppler effect. What is this Doppler effect? Before going to discuss its mathematical analysis, we should choose some examples to understand this concept. Suppose we have been observing these things, like we are standing on a platform when a train is approaching to us with its air horn, once the air horn is pressed, then when the train is approaching to the passenger, it is under the condition of the air horn, then the frequency of that air horn is going to increase when it is approaching to the passenger. When the train with the same air horn and pressing the air horn continuously while it is moving away from the observer, for the observer the intensity or the frequency of the sound wave is going to be decreased. That means there is a relative motion between the observer and the source, and correspondingly there is an apparent change in the frequency of the wave because of the relative motion between the source and receiver. This effect is called Doppler effect. That means suppose if I am a passenger, when a source is approaching towards me, its frequency I am hearing increases according to the distance is closed. When it is moving away from me, yes, the frequency is going to decrease because the source is moving away from me. If suppose I am approaching towards a train or bus, or a train is approaching to me, if I am moving away from the train, so these all are the different conditions to observe the Doppler effect. So Doppler explained about the change in the frequency of a sound wave due to the relative motion between source and receiver. So the definition of Doppler effect is like this: the apparent change in frequencies or in frequency of a sound wave due to the relative motion between source and observer. Apparent change means the frequency is going to change. It seems to be appear to be changing, but it is not actually done. It is because of the number of waves, number of crests and troughs which are approaching towards the listener from a far distance. So whereas the distance is increases, there is a loss in the crest and trough of the sound wave which is released from the source. So these all are the important points to understand this Doppler effect. And this Doppler effect can be achieved in 3 subcases. Now we will discuss what are those subcases one by one. The first subcase in the Doppler effect is source is moving, observer is stationary. So what is the source is moving? Let us suppose this is the position of observer. I am writing it as O. Initially a source is at a distance L from the observer. Let us say the initial position of the source is S1. Let us say here the time is t is equal to 0. At a time is equal to 0, the source is at a position called S1, which is at a distance of capital L from the observer. It emits a crest. Emitted the crest. This crest, which is emitted by the source, reaches the observer at a time where t is equal to some t1 or t2, whatever it is. After some time, at t is equal to t or t1, the source has moved to some more distance because the condition is source is moving away from the observer. So this is the another position of the source after some time. S2. From S2 also it emits a crest, but what is the distance of this position from the observer? Here to here is L, and from here to here it is moved with the velocity Vs, and the time taken from here to here reach is t0. So therefore t0 is the time moved with velocity vs. So therefore the total distance from here to here is L plus vs t naught, because we know that length is equal to velocity into time. So here the velocity is source velocity, time is time reached and the time taken to reach the observer. So at this position also it has emitted the crest, and this crest is reaching the observer. There is a time lag or time difference between the emitted crest which is at the position S1 and the emitted crest which is at the position S2. Now we will find out what is the time difference between these two crests, and from there we will find out for the nth crest and frequency. So when the source is at a position S1, it emits the crest, and this crest is reaching the observer at a time t1, where t1 is equal to L by V, we can say that. But when the source is at S2, it is emitting the crest, and this emitted crest is reaching the observer at a time t2. But in this time we should add the time taken for t1 also. So therefore the time taken by a crest which is released at a position S2. So it reaches the observer at a time t2. So therefore the t2 is original time t0 plus L plus Vs t0 by V. t0 plus t1. This is t1 because the distance is L plus Vs t0 by the velocity V. So this is for the first second. After 1 second it has released the second crest. At 0th second it has released the first crest. So 0th second first crest, 1st second second crest, such like that. Nth second n plus 1th crest. Now we will find out what is the time taken to reach this n plus 1th crest from a position at infinity to the observer, and from that we can find out the calculation. So Tn plus 1 is equal to time taken to reach the n plus 1th crest to the observer is equal to n t0 plus L plus n Vs t0 by V. We can keep this one as a whole bracket. N t0 plus L plus n Vs t0 by V. And at the same time, what is the time interval between the nth crest and n plus 1th crest? So time interval between n plus 1th crest and nth crest, it is like this. Time interval is equal to Tn plus 1 minus Tn is equal to n t0 plus L plus Vs t0 or n Vs t0 by n minus L by V. This is the time taken for the time interval. What about the time taken for the 1th crest or one difference of crest? This is for the difference between the nth crest and n plus 1th crest. Time taken to reach the 1 crest, it is nothing but the time period. So time period is equal to t is equal to n t naught plus L plus n Vs t naught by V minus L by V whole divided by n, because time taken for one crest, it is for the time difference. Now we are solving this equation to find the change in apparent frequency. So this is the equation, and I am simply simplifying this equation like this: n t naught by n plus L by V plus n Vs t naught by V minus L by V whole divided by n. Plus L by V and minus L by V gets cancelled. So therefore it is n t naught by n plus n Vs t naught by nV. So n and n gets cancelled. Here also n and n gets cancelled. Therefore t is equal to t naught plus Vs t naught by V. And from this expression we can take t naught as common. Therefore t is equal to t naught into 1 plus Vs by V. This is the time lag between the source and observer. We know that frequency is equal to 1 by t. Therefore nu is equal to nu naught into 1 plus Vs by V whole power minus 1. With the help of binomial expansions, we can write this equation as nu is equal to nu naught into 1 minus Vs by V. If the source is approaching towards the observer, this Vs is replaced by minus Vs in case of approaching. So when it is approached, Vs is replaced by minus Vs, therefore it is nu is equal to nu naught into 1 plus Vs by V. This is the apparent frequency change when source is approaching the observer. When the source is moving away from the observer, Vs keeps Vs only, away from observer. Then this is the standard equation. So such like this, the frequency change, apparent frequency nu is equal to observed frequency into 1 minus velocity of the source by velocity of the observer. Like this, we can find out the apparent change in the frequency when a source is moving but observer is at stationary. Now the second case we are dealing in Doppler effect. The second case is to find the apparent change in the frequency when observer is moving but source is stationary. Let us take a source like this. It is at a fixed position S. Initially observer is here at O. Let us say the distance is L, and after some time, this is the time t is equal to 0. After some time t is equal to t1, this is the position of the observer. Whenever the observer is at a distance L, the source has emitted a crest. It is reaching the observer with velocity v0. But when an observer is moving away from the source, then the emitted crest from the source should has to reach with more velocity to reach the observer without loss it in any information. Means there is no information should be lost by the wave which is emitted by the source. In these cases, this wave should move with a velocity greater than the original. Let us suppose it is v0 plus v. So as like that, the process which was done previously, but we are doing in the reverse order. So it has emitted the first crest t1, and it has emitted the second crest, and it has emitted the n plus 1th crest also. So the time taken, a time lag between n plus 1th crest and nth crest is given by Tn plus 1 minus T1 is equal to n T0 minus n V0 T0 by V plus V0. This is the difference between the n crests. What are the time period of one crest? Time period of one crest. Time period is nothing but the time taken for the one complete oscillation or vibration. Here it is one crest. So therefore, capital T is equal to n T0 minus n into V0 T0 by V plus V0 whole divided by n. This can be written as n T0 by n minus n V0 T0 by n into V plus V0. N and n gets cancelled, and here also n and n gets cancelled. Therefore, T is equal to, we got T0 minus V0 T0 by V plus V0. I am taking T0 as common. So, T is equal to T0 into 1 minus V0 by V plus V0. From this, we should find out the change in the apparent frequency in the second case. So, this is the standard equation, and it is written by like this: T0 into, we can take V plus V0 as LCM. So, V plus V0 minus V0 by V plus V0. This V0 and V0 gets cancelled. Therefore, T0 into V by V plus V0 is equal to T. So, it can be written as T is equal to T0 by V plus V0 by V, because this V goes up and V plus V0 by, and we can written this one as T is equal to T0 into V plus V0 by V whole power minus 1. So, T is equal to T0 into, we can write 1 plus V0 by V whole power minus 1. If time period taken for one crest is time reached to the observer into 1 plus V0 by V whole power minus 1. So, what about the frequency? Frequency nu is equal to 1 by T. Therefore, nu is equal to nu naught into 1 plus V0 by V. But V0 by V is very small. If it is very small, so this 1 plus V0 by V will approximately becomes 1. Therefore, nu will become nu naught. That means apparent change in the frequency is nothing but the frequency appeared or frequency experienced by the observer. That means it is an approximate state where we are neglecting the all remaining ideal conditions. So like this, we can find out the change in the frequency when observer is moving and source is stationary. Next, we will find out if both are under the relative motion. That is the last case in the Doppler effect. Now the third case is both the observer and source are moving. Let us say this is the position of observer O and this is the position of source S, or we can write S1, O1. Observer is left to the source. These two positions are at t is equal to 0. After some time, this S1 is moved to the position called S2. Correspondingly, observer is also moving along the direction of source and O1 is shifted to O2. Whenever the observer and source are at the stationary positions, the source is emitting a crest and this emitted crest is reaching the observer at some t1 seconds. But the velocity will become is v plus v naught, because velocity of the wind plus velocity of the observer, because both are moving in the same phase, their velocities are going to increase, because its velocity, the observer is colliding with the particle before it coming to him, because he is also moving along with the source. Such like that, whenever it is reached to the position S2, it is also releasing the next crest. So it is also moved with time t2 seconds. Now we will find out what is this time differences between the positions with respect to the source and observer, and from that we will calculate the actual apparent change in the frequency.